So there aren't necessarily unique shipping charges or surcharges that FedEx has compared to UPS. They actually both have very similar charges and surcharges. The things you want to take into account are the differences in those charges. So UPS might call something a large package surcharge, where FedEx might call it an oversized charge. And when you look at the actual published rate charts, do those charges actually match? Because one carrier might give you a 50% discount off the charge, and the other carrier might give you a 50% as well. However, one's going to be more expensive than the other, leaving you with a net charge that's probably higher than the other. So you want to make sure that you take into account the differences in the charges themselves, along with the discounts that the carrier might be offering you. While the surcharges might look the same, you have an oversized or a large package surcharge, let's say. If one's higher than the other, FedEx might be offering you a 45% discount, or FedEx or UPS is offering you a 50% discount. That 45 might be a greater discount because it's coming off of a lower published charge. So those are some of the things you want to take into account. But as far as actual surcharges goes, the naming convention of the surcharges might be a little different, but they pretty much have the same types of surcharges, outside of maybe the late payment fee that UPS has that FedEx has not instituted yet. As far as FedEx shipping rates goes, nothing new on the horizon. The FedEx rates, the UPS rates are fairly consistent after the first of the year. FedEx's rate change happened the first week of the new year, where UPS's actually went into effect the last week of the last year. The advantage for UPS obviously is they're grabbing more revenue during the time of all the returns after the holidays, after Christmas and everything. So they're able to take advantage of the new rates, on average 4.9%. But as everybody knows, that 4.9% rate increase that both carriers have published, they say they've published, actually impact customers in different ways depending on the characteristics of those shipments. Our Lojistic platform and our actual shipping platform will help customers basically reduce costs by being able to rate shop. So it rate shops between two carriers. On the small package side, you've got FedEx versus UPS. It'll actually rate shop based on basically where the package is going, the weight, and any other applicable surcharges. And then on the freight side as well, it will rate shop between several different LTL carriers and even full truckload carriers as well, depending on what you need. But just like any other third-party shipping solution, it is very robust in that it takes into account all the different charges that it might apply to a package, takes your net rates into account, and then basically picks and chooses the best rate possible. And then if you want to put in any other parameters like time in transit, you might have an SLA with a customer where the time in transit is specific. You want to take into account the time in transit along with the cost of that package. And the system will be able to basically spit out the least expensive or lowest time in transit at the least expensive cost.